Hey guys, it's Joyce here with FreshStartWithJoyce.com, and tonight is a special edition of Fresh Start TV because one of my friends, Kai, on Facebook wanted to recreate kind of the P.F. Chang's lettuce wraps, and so she didn't want to use chicken. She wanted to go with a vegan or vegetarian style version of the dish. So I said, let me go ahead, get in the lab and show you how I make my crumbles. So they're kind of similar to, like, if you would think of ground beef or ground chicken, but made with mushrooms and brown rice. You don't want to go too high. All of that, we're going to be using a really heat ready oil. So we're using coconut oil to give it more of that Thai flavor, so to say. And coconut oil can be cooked in high heat, so it's going to be just fine. So we're just going to put about a tablespoon of coconut oil. It's really healthy for you. It's good for your skin, good for your hair, it's good for everything. So we're going to use that. And you could use vegetable oil if you're allergic to coconuts, but I am not, and I'm going to use the coconut oil. Okay, so now we're ready to go ahead and get our veggies into this pan. So we're going to get started with our onion. Again, this is a small onion. We're just going to put that in there. And you don't have to worry about it being perfectly sliced because we're going to put all of this into the food processor. So we're going to add our 8 ounces of mushrooms to this. All right. And I'm going to grab one of my wooden spoons here, and we're just going to give this a stir. So we're going to add about, I don't know, maybe about a teaspoon, a chef's teaspoon of salt. All right, and this is sea salt. And we're going to add a little bit of black pepper to this too. And that coconut oil starts to evaporate very quickly. So that's why I said this is really, really good for stir fry, because you don't want to oily stir fry. There's nothing worse than oily stir fry. Okay, so now that our mushrooms and onions have softened a bit, we're going to go ahead and add the garlic. You don't want to add the garlic beforehand, because if you do that, you run the risk of your garlic getting burnt, and once it burns, it gets bitter. So you want to add it just at the point that your mushrooms get soft and your onions get soft. And so you'll just cook that and stir it around for about a minute and take it off of the heat. Okay, so to the food processor, we're going to add our brown rice mixture and put that in. We're going to do the same thing with the mushroom mixture. Put this in, but we're going to let it sit for a little bit in here, so just so it can cool down a little bit. Okay, so now we're going to grind this up, and it's going to magically turn into a crumble. All right, so I'm going to do this here, and then I'll come back and show you the consistency. Okay, so what you'll see here is that it kind of resembles like a crumble, and when you go ahead and brown this in the oil with the veggies and everything, it's going to look just like meat. You'll never miss it. It's going to taste amazing. So now we're going to let this sit to the side and cool for a second and get started on our stir fry, and then we'll add this to the mixture at the end. All right, it's time to add that sesame oil. Our pan is piping hot, and we're putting about a tablespoon in. Measure if you must, but about a tablespoon, okay? Okay, let's add our veggies. So we're going to go with our cabbage and put that in. Ooh, I love that sound. That means there's some good stuff going on in the kitchen, honey. And I have some broccoli florets. We're going to put those in now too. And we're also going to add some shredded carrots. All right, we're going to put our yellow peppers in. Everything's going in the boat right now. There's all veggies, and we don't have to worry about it. Green onions go in next. Okay, so we've got our veggies in here. They're stirred up. We're going to add a little bit more salt just to keep those flavors consistent. You don't want it to be under-seasoned or over-seasoned, so just a little bit, and just a little bit of pepper. We're going to stir this and put the lid on top, and we'll keep checking back and forth. We're looking for tender, yet a little bit of crispness to it, so you have a little bit of bite when you go to take a bite. Okay, so now we're ready to get started on our crumble, and we're going to take a little bit of coconut oil because that's going to toast it up really nicely. All right, so the last step in getting the crumble together is taking our almond flour and adding that to the mixture. while it's in the food processor, so we're going to do that. And we'll also take our spelt flour or gluten-free flour and put that in there. That's just going to bind it together to make it nice and beef-like texture. So it won't be a whole bunch of little baby crumbles. They'll be a little bit thicker and denser. So I'm going to do this and I'll be right back. Okay, so the same way that you would go ahead and cook up some ground beef, we're going to do the same thing here. And hopefully my little blade won't come out. But you're going to hear it sizzle, crack, and pop just like you would ground beef. Okay, so I'm just cooking my crumbles and I don't want to like totally overmix it and make it all crazy, but you can see how it's starting to look like the ground beef like I promised. So we're just going to let this brown up, and I just want to spread it evenly throughout the pan, because it's kind of like a let one layer cook, take it, flip it until it's all over on the other brown side, and let that side get brown, and then it's done. I mean, it's already cooked pretty much, and it's not meat, so you don't have to worry about it being undercooked. But we just want it to get kind of brown and crispy, okay? So we're going to let that go. While that's doing that, we're going to come on over here and get our sauce going. All right, so this is really simple, right? We're going to take our coconut aminos or soy sauce. All right, and we're going to take about a tablespoon. We'll do a tablespoon of the sesame oil. And we only need a half teaspoon of vinegar, and that's just going to help us to cut down the sweetness from the sugar. All right, we're going to add our coconut sugar next to this. All right, and that's splashed, oops. And ginger, I love ginger. It's so yummy and good for you. All right, so now we're just going to mix our sauce together, and we're going to add this to our stir fry in just a few moments. We're getting ready to flip over the ground beef or ground crumbles. All right, so now it's time to combine our efforts here. So we're going to take our veggie mixture and add it in to our crumble. All right, Kai girl, I hope you enjoyed this recipe. We're all done. I put my sauce in there. I mixed it up. So I just want to show you, like, can you see that consistency there? This is delicious. I'm going to taste it. It is so good. I'm not just saying that because I made it. Partially because I made it, but it really is good. So you could have this and couple it with some spring rolls or whatever you want to do. But I hope that this recipe helps you. Listen, if you have a recipe in mind or a dish that you want to try and maybe make it a little bit healthier or make it vegan or whatever, hit me up at freshstartwithjoyce.com. That's where you can go. Log in, put your information in. I will go ahead and create a recipe just for you. All right, so listen, for yummy, healthy recipes, rocking workouts, and cool stuff that you'll love, join me every week at freshstartwithjoyce.com. I'll see you next time. Bye. Mwah.